All right, let's be real. You've got big ideas, big goals, but instead of taking action, you're stuck overthinking every single step. Sound familiar? If you're tired of living in your head, paralyzed by all the what-ifs, this one's for you. Today I'm breaking down how to get out of analysis paralysis and finally start making some moves. You know that feeling, right? You spend hours planning, researching, maybe even organizing your space, but when it comes time to actually do something, you freeze. Trust me, I've been there. You think if you just keep planning, you'll eventually get it all perfect. But here's the truth, perfect is a lie. The only way to get anywhere is to start, even if it's messy. So step one, identify what's really holding you back. So let's get into it. First things first, we need to figure out what's really keeping you stuck. Spoiler alert, it's usually fear. Whether it's a fear of failing, of making the wrong choice, or maybe even just looking dumb. That fear keeps you from moving forward. I get it. Sometimes the hardest part isn't the work itself, it's getting over the stories we tell ourselves. Here's some action. Here's what I want you to do. Write down your worst case scenario. I mean it. Take 5 minutes. Jot down what's the absolute worst that could happen if you just start. 9 times out of 10, once you see it on paper, it loses its power. And honestly, that worst case, it's probably not as bad as you're making it out to be. Step 2, simplify your choices. Now that you've started facing that fear, here's something that's probably adding to your paralysis. Too many damn options. Look, choice overload is a real thing. The more options you give yourself, the harder it becomes to make any decision at all. You're comparing every detail, trying to predict every outcome, and by the time you're done, you're so worn out you don't even feel like taking action anymore. So here's my action step. Here's what I suggest. Use the 2-option rule. Narrow it down to just 2 choices and force yourself to pick one. Flip a coin if you have to. Why? Because the truth is, you don't need the perfect option. You need progress. The less time you spend deciding, the more time you'll have actually doing. On to step 3, just start, even if it's messy. All right, here's the part where most people get hung up. Waiting for everything to feel just right before you take the first step. Newsflash, it's never going to feel perfect, and if you wait for that, you'll be stuck forever. The best way to kill analysis paralysis, just start. Even if it's ugly, even if it's all over the place, even if you don't feel ready. Clarity comes from action, not the other way around. Try this. Set a timer for 5 minutes and commit to working on your goal, whatever it is, for just those 5 minutes. The hardest part is starting, and once you get into it, it'll be easier to keep going. Think of it like dipping your toe in the water. Once you're in, you're halfway there. Living on a prayer, ain't no. Limit your decision-making time. Last but not least, give yourself a deadline. When you're stuck in analysis paralysis, time is not your friend. Every minute you spend thinking is another minute lost to indecision. So set a timer, give yourself a countdown, and when the time's up, make your choice and move on. No second guessing. You make decisions every day without overthinking them. Ordering lunch, picking a playlist, whatever. Treat your goals the same way. At the end of the day, it's simple. Don't wait for motivation. Don't wait for the stars to align. Take messy action. Keep moving forward and let the path unfold as you go. The only way out of analysis paralysis is through it. So what's that one thing you're going to start today? Drop it in the comments. I want to hear about it. And if you found this helpful, check out my other videos for more no BS tips to help you get unstuck. We're in this together. Let's make some moves.